on this, like, I do it every time I get a chance. I just perform it, you know what I mean? It's the song that means the most to me. So without any further ado, can we get the track running, please?
Jeez. R.I.P. Nanny man. Rap.
Okay. This goes out to anyone who's ever lost someone. Nanny, I know you can see me up there. High grade beats. Listen. Couldn't believe when my mum said my nanny was dying. Even the realest and truest of mans would have started crying. I'm saying please mommy told me you're lying. She replied she's sleeping slowly but she's fighting and trying. I don't even mind it, the thoughts of her passing was blinding. Had a one track mind, the force of hustling and grinding. Just jumped in my car, I knew I'd stop riding. For the happier times and then my eyes started drying. And I kissed her on her head and she exhaled her last breath. Feeling like somebody ripped my heart on my brass chest. So I blast sex, but it don't take away the pain. If anything it only makes me think again. All the memories of me and her inside of my brain. I took the next talk and rubbed my hands back from my pepper grain. Going insane, I need somebody to blame. But even if I did it, still wouldn't feel the same. All my fallen soldiers, may you rest in peace. You endured the struggle, that's to say the least. Stood up, tall and strong, in the face of death. And I feel your soul every time I take a breath. So to my fallen soldiers, may you rest in peace. You endured the struggle, that's to say the least. Stood up, tall and strong, in the face of death. And I feel your soul every time I take a breath. I said, every time I take a breath. I said, every time I take a breath, I feel your soul. Every time I take a breath. I said, every time I take a breath, I feel your soul. Every time I take a breath. I said, every time I take a breath, I feel your soul. Every time I take a breath. I said, every time I take a breath. And my condolences to brothers whose loved ones are passed. I know your heart is hurting, the pain you're feeling is vast. Feels like a soul don't really know what you're going through. Jump in your car and don't even know where you're going to. I know in who can feel the void inside. Feels like the heavens and earths are gonna collide. Your soul divides, don't get to swallow your pride. I shed a tear in public, then I wipe my eyes. I'm so surprised how this is affecting my life. I realize this journey here on earth is so precise. You live, you die, but it's what you do in between. Staying on a straight path, but these roads are lean. I'm chasing cream on point like a laser beam. What's Spice start doing when he's behind the scenes? Feel like whining out and cursing, but I'm keeping it clean. Cause I know my nanny's watching me in all of my dreams. So my fallen soldiers, may you rest in peace. You endured the struggle, that's to say the least. Stood up, tall and strong, in the face of death. And I feel your soul every time I take a breath. So to my fallen soldiers, may you rest in peace. You endured the struggle, that's to say the least. Stood up, tall and strong, in the face of death. And I feel your soul every time I take a breath. I said, every time I take a breath. I said, every time I take a breath, I feel your soul. Every time I take a breath. I said, every time I take a breath, I feel your soul. Every time I take a breath. I said, every time I take a breath, I feel your soul. Every time I take a breath. I said, every time I take a breath. Now, musicality, you gotta understand. Like sometimes when you lose someone, you know they're up there watching you.
Jeez, always.
So you gotta listen and you gotta look how you're living your life and see if that person will be proud of you. Because I know my nanny's watching me and I know she knows she's proud. So can I say it one more time? To my fallen soldiers, may you rest in peace. You endured the struggle, that's to say the least. Stood up, tall and strong, in the face of death. And I feel your soul every time I take a breath. So to my fallen soldiers, may you rest in peace. You endured the struggle, that's to say the least. Stood up, tall and strong, in the face of death. And I feel your soul every time I take a breath. I said, every time I take a breath. I said, every time I take a breath, I feel your soul. Every time I take a breath. I said, every time I take a breath, I feel your soul. Every time I take a breath. I said, every time I take a breath, I feel your soul. Every time I take a breath. I said, every time I take a breath. Real talk. Miss you, love you, man.
Always, always.
Big up to my friend here, Nicola J. Marie. Without her, nothing is possible. And the rest of the performers as well. The whole of the JO18, Frosted Eyes family, my producer, High Grade. Everyone who's performed, you done big. Love you all.